Okay, welcome to the EU Cassandra Summit. My name's Christopher Batey. I'm a technical evangelist for Apache Cassandra, and I'm here with Joseph from British Gas. So thanks for agreeing to talk to us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so do you want to start off, just give us an overview of what you do at British Gas and how you're using Cassandra?
Yes, I work on British Gas Connected Homes. This is a company which is fully owned by British Gas, but we are independent. We're in the center of London, and we very much deal with stuff relating to devices connected in people's homes. Our most popular product is Hive Heating, which is a mobile application that lets you control your heating remotely. And but we also deal with all sorts of other stuff like connected boilers, smart meters, gas and electricity readings, all that kind of things. So we have started to use Cassandra to process all this amount of data we collect from people's homes.
So each of these devices, how does the data actually end up on your platform? How often does it get? How many events do you get per boiler per day?
It will depend on the service. If, for example, we have a trial called that collects energy information from people's homes every 10 seconds. That's quite fast. A smart meter typically would send you information every half an hour. We get every minute information from other kind of devices. We get lots of battery measurements, temperature changes. I don't know. It depends on the device, but it can go from the seconds to fractions of an hour.
So, will you have the ability to predict when people's boilers are going to break? And
while we're working on that, actually, the objective is to be able to tell someone, okay, your boiler is not working properly, and would you like to have a visit of an engineer to fix your boiler before it breaks, so that you don't have the problems that you would have if you don't have hot water.
Wait for it to break and then have no showers.
Exactly.
So how did you go about selecting Cassandra? Like, how do you see it as fitting your use case?
Well, there are many reasons why we are working very much with Cassandra. Most important one, it's proven scalability. I mean, it's not. We do need to collect a lot of data, and we do need to scale very, very big. So we know that Cassandra will scale linearly. That we can if we throw more data and we throw more nodes, we'll be able to cope with it. There are many other reasons.
Were you evaluating any other pieces of software at the same time?
We actually work with many technologies. Still now we work with many technologies. One of the main decisions we have taken has been between Cassandra and React. We at some point were doing a lot of stuff with React. I would say the decisive factor that made us turn more towards Cassandra is analytics capability introduced by Spark.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
That is something that we do really need, because we do collect data, but we also need to analyze this data. We have data scientists in our teams producing very smart algorithms that then we have to apply on this data. And this really makes a difference, being able to use Spark for that.
So how long have you been using Spark for then? Well,
not very long. Actually, we have used Spark, standalone versions of Spark, like for I would say 2 or 3 months already. We're just starting to use it with DataStax Enterprise. We have found that version 4.5 of DataStax Enterprise wasn't really working very well with Spark, because it packed, I think it's version 0.9 of Spark, and with the volume of data we use, when it does it's not very optimized when it shuffles data, and we found that we were running out of memory very quickly. We've been testing 4.6, and it looks like now this problem has been solved.
Oh, brilliant. So you say some data comes in at every 10 seconds. So what kind of write and read throughputs are your Cassandra clusters handling at the moment?
Okay, as I said, it is a combination. Fortunately, this 10-second thing we're just trying right now. We don't have many customers. But we expect like next year, we work in different ways to ingest this data. Sometimes we just copy it from files we get from another system, and otherwise we stream from queues. We use Spark streaming to pick this information from rabbit queues and save it into Cassandra. And for next year, we're building up our capability to be able to handle like 15,000 messages per second, this kind of loads.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So, did you have a lot of Cassandra experience in the team when you started, or?
It's. I would say it's mixed. Some people had Cassandra experience, some people didn't. We do make an effort to train everyone as quickly as possible. DataStax is helping that in that a lot, and I would say now everyone understands very well how Cassandra works, but no, not everyone has been working with Cassandra a long time. Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to new users on getting started and getting like a development team up to speed with Cassandra?
Well, I would say the first and most important thing is data modeling. It is very different. It is a simple concept. You have to model for what you query, but not everyone. But it's counterintuitive. If you come from a relational database world, you'll naturally try to do things that you cannot do with Cassandra, and then you'll learn through error that some of the things you try to do don't work, but it's going to be painful. So I would think focus on understanding very well how keys and partitioning and how you have to model data, and think that duplicating data, denormalizing is not a problem. It's actually the way it should be.
Yeah. So at the moment, what kind of scale are you? What kind of size of cluster are you currently are running for the ingestion of all of this?
We're building a cluster to be able to work with the data set of 30 terabytes right now.
Okay. So
we don't have everything in place. We're starting with. We're working like with 6 very big nodes right now, and the way we are going to work is that we separate this cluster into an analytics cluster and a pure transaction serving.
Are you going to have those as the same cluster in different data centers, or are you going to say ingest twice into
For the moment, we're building everything in the same data center. Security is very important for us. We are handling sensitive personal data, so we cannot, for some applications it is fine to have data in AWS in the cloud, but for many it is not. So right now we are making a big effort to build our capability in one data center.
And so you're deploying it to your own hardware rather than somewhere like AWS or Google at the moment?
Yes.
Okay. And as you've been getting going with Cassandra, how have you found the say the community in London and more widely online?
Well, I think London has a great community for Cassandra. It's you go to meetups, they are full. Also, I would say we start to go to Spark meetups, and that these are twice as full.
They are at the moment, aren't they?
Yes, and a lot of interest, and it is really great to be in London working on that, because it's everyone who is involved in Cassandra sooner or later comes here and you can firsthand talk to anyone.
Yeah. So I think that answers all my questions. So thank you very much for coming and talking to us.
Thanks for having me.
In London.